Ratty is restless. Otter has just told him that they are going to build on Lock's Hill. Feeling unsettled, Ratty leaves the waterside and wanders countrywards, uncertain of his future. There is a feeling in the air of change. The hedgehogs are very worried about losing the ancient root. Their kind have taken it for centuries, from the lower lands past the old mill house and through a cliff-top hedge to Lock's Hill and beyond. A route that Otter takes when he has to leave the river at the culvert. Its hedges guide greater and lesser horseshoe bats to feeding places and roosts. This ancient route is a precious green corridor they hope they never lose. In the osiers, Ratty spies a swallow, which is joined by two more. They and their feathered friends have heard the news. They fear for their trees and hedges. Ratty climbs the north-facing slope and seeks the side of a dusty lane, musing on all the wayfarers who might have trodden it. He then returns home. The next day he goes for a wander. Keeping close to the hedges, he passes Badger's auntie's house, goes up the hill to the gate at the top. He turns into the fields so beloved of hedgehogs and others using the green corridor past the old mill house, and gazes at the major hedge highway that guides greater and lesser horseshoe bats between their roosts. With its mature trees enjoyed by noctules and the rare barbastelle bat, as well as serotine, myotis species, long-eared bats and the more numerous pipistrelle. Slowworms are sunning themselves, and grass snakes. The pool where he often meets Otter is sparkling, and the mullet are enjoying a high-tide adventure. 2 days later, it is so different. And yes, they attacked the hedges first. Ratty fears for the wren and other birds who are nesting there. It is May and peak nesting time. He retreats in terror. He meets Badger, who explains that the diggers had not shown how they would protect retained trees and had not submitted a construction management plan. So the People's Council have issued a temporary stop notice and a temporary tree preservation order for all the hedges. Also, no provision has been made to rehome the residents, and the ecology report is out of date. But the diggers would not listen. The swallows are relieved at the tree preservation order, but describe the scene from above. It It doesn't look like a trial pit to us, and they are ignoring the stop notice. Six days after the stop notice, the diggers finally fall silent, and parent birds dare to hope. Tweeting fills those precious hedges. But then more work, new diggers. Destruction of his favourite field. The pool no longer sparkles. A new map appears with trees, hedges and rivers. And loads of notices come and go. A court hearing and guilty pleas. But still the digging and massive earth removal goes on. Six months of illegal digging had created a veritable chasm. Badger's auntie's set is now at ground level, and the protected footpath on a knife-edged ridge. People can now fall off it as well as roll down it. If they'd needed a level site, why didn't they buy one? Hedgehogs realise that they will not be able to reach the gardens, to make use of any promised access. The bats are worried about being able to navigate the hedges, and the effect of light pollution on their privacy and on their insect prey. The friends meet to discuss the loss of the fields, and now more bad news. They heard plans to concrete the people's path and for it to be steeper in places. With 202 steps, 71 on this section. More concrete, less greenery, and how will our babies climb this? It is a far cry from what we knew. Peaceful people have protested. If only we could too. After 20 months of earth, tree and hedge removal, their home is uninhabitable. The 6 precious field maples have gone. Cruelly coppiced to 50 millimeters, along with the whole eastern row of sycamores. The western hedge has been severed. Even the ash trees are under threat. With such reduced hedgerow, the swallows will not return. And the songbirds are leaving. To try their luck elsewhere. The quarry gets deeper, with looming cliffs. And inevitable landslides, some undermining High House Lane. The site is surely much too steep for a housing estate, especially if the houses are going to be affordable to local people. The southern cliff must be 30 metres high, and you never know where a digger will strike next. The amphibians and reptiles realise this is no longer the place for them. With little vegetation and few insects, the rodents are next to leave. The hedgehogs would have asked for highways through or under the fencing. But the site is too steep and hostile, so they will not be coming here. With all their prey leaving, the raptors have no reason to stay, and neither do the carnivorous mammals. The deer are long gone. The bats are now in their winter roosts. But greater horseshoe bats will not return to their resting roost. And from July 2023, lesser horseshoe bats will avoid it too. Was the house building finally, after 2 years of digging, the last straw? Or was it because this was now their route? The top hedge suddenly exploded. And was then refilled with earth. The friends despair and plan to leave. Otter returns to the hills. No animal would want to swim here. Seeing the total destruction of his auntie's house, Badger leaves for his wild wood. Toad sells Toad Hall and moves away. The staunch friends, Ratty and Mole, set off towards Mole's home, still wondering how such destruction and pointless waste of energy could be allowed. Ratty carries on, hoping to find peace and protection in a new watervole community.